Hello, everybody. My name is Bennett Tchaikovsky. I'm the accounting professor, and this is the primary difference between financial and managerial accounting. When we study financial accounting, when we make a sale, we typically use four accounts to do that. And again, this is the assumption usually in financial accounting, we're studying that the environment of a retailer, meaning someone who purchases goods directly from a manufacturer or wholesaler and then resells those items. And if we look at a T account where assets are equal to liabilities plus owner's equity or shareholders' equity, and then we have over here debit, credit, and we have expenses and revenues. When we go through and record a sale, say if the item's on account, we're going to start with accounts receivable, and we're going to go ahead and credit sales, okay, or basically sales revenue. We record revenues with credits. We'll do that right over here. And we're going to record that receivable with a debit. Now, remember, when we do sell inventory, there's two things going on. We've got to record the sale and we have to record the cost of that sale or cost of goods sold. And we'll call this COGS. And then I'm going to be crediting my inventory. So I would be debiting cost of goods sold, crediting inventory, and unless we are Rivian, these items will be different. Hopefully we're selling our goods at a profit. So this is basically this is financial accounting. This is what we learn about selling inventory in terms of financial accounting. When we are going through and dealing with a manufacturer, it's going to be a little bit different. And what is going to be different? Well, we're still going to have over here accounts receivable. We're going to have accounts receivable. We're going to have sales, right? That's not going to go through and change. However, when we are doing a manufacturer, we're preparing, we're looking at inventory in a manufacturing environment, that's when things get a little bit different. Why is that? Well, we're not simply selling the inventory, rather we are making the inventory. When we are going through and doing this, we're going to be starting out with the raw materials. We've got raw materials inventory. Now, this raw materials inventory cannot magically become my final inventory, which in managerial accounting, we would call this finished goods inventory. Right? It can't get there on its own. What does it take? It takes a little bit of factory payroll, or what we would go through and call labor. And it's also going to take something called factory overhead. Now, when you look at this, factory is the big important part here, because when we are looking at managerial accounting, we want to be focused on what is going on in the factory. Clearly, that's not going to be in California, but maybe in one of our other 49 states. But as we come over here, we start with the raw materials. This we would have over here. This would be our beginning. Raw materials inventory. We're going to add in some purchases. And then we're going to basically, as we're going through and working on this, we're going to basically be taking inventory out, taking items out of our raw materials inventory and putting it into production. So first, it's going to come into what we call work in progress or process inventory. And you'll see me refer this to sometimes as WIP, work in process, work in progress, same thing. RMI, raw materials inventory, right? So what we call this when raw materials inventory comes out of here, whatever we put into production, we're going to call this direct materials. These direct materials are going to travel over here to our work in process, essentially from our raw materials inventory. However, in order to get these raw materials into finished goods, it doesn't get there on its own. It's going to need help. And what it will need is over here is our factory payroll. This is not the payroll of our accountants, of our attorneys, of our salespeople. This is this is payroll related to our manufacturing. So over here, and by the way, this is going to give us our ending raw materials inventory. Okay. So coming over here with factory payroll, what goes into factory payroll? Well, we're going to have really two categories that we're going to look at. We're going to have direct labor, meaning the direct labor of what actually worked on the product. And then we're going to have indirect labor. Now, this is very, very important, right? So the direct labor is going to go directly into our work in process inventory, excuse me, our direct labor. Okay. So our direct labor is going to go directly into our work in process inventory. The most important thing, remember, is that raw materials inventory has physical substance, so we will have an ending balance. For factory payroll, we're going to have a zero balance, right? We have to make sure that this account is zeroed out. Well, if direct labor is going over here to work in process, what's happening with indirect labor? Well, indirect labor is going to travel over here to factory overhead. And as we look at what goes into factory overhead, it is pretty much going to be anything that has the word factory in it. It'd be factory utilities, factory equipment depreciation. Okay. It could also be, God, there's so many factory rent, insurance, or we'll call it factory insurance. Okay, so these are all going to be items that support the process over here, support that production process. So as we come over here and we're going ahead and looking at our factory overhead, similar, this is really much more of a cost accumulation center. So the total amount of factory overhead, this has to have a zero balance at the end of the day. Remember, factory overhead does not have any physical substance. Rather, it's a place where we're going through and accumulating costs. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to take our total factory overhead, and this is going to come over here into our work in process inventory. So let's kind of do a little bit of a recap over here. In financial accounting, we're buying and selling goods. So we just buy the inventory and then we sell it. Here we are manufacturing, right? We'll have a sale, right? But to get to that actual sale, we've got to go through several different steps. We start over here with our raw materials, right? These are the ones that we big purchase, and we're going to be putting that into production. It's not a finished product. Rather, we're using it for going through and making our product. We've got this, and whatever we put into production during the particular period of time we're going through and looking at that, we're going to call that direct materials. Now, there's also a concept called indirect materials, but we'll get to that in another chapter. But for right now, think about it in terms of direct materials. So this is going to go over here to our work in process. Now, for factory payroll, direct materials cannot become a finished product on its own. We do need people, at least for the moment. We right over here, saw some crazy robotic stuff. It's like it's too, yeah, there you go. So we got over here factory payroll, very much like iRobot. Got factory payroll over here. So our total amount of factory payroll, it's going to have two different components: direct labor, meaning those that are directly working on the product, and indirect labor. And you might be saying to me, Bennett, how can we have indirect labor if there's only one work in process account? Well, if we were saying say looking at Tesla, and if for instance, if all their stuff was modeled at the same place, you would have separate work in process accounts for the Model S, for the Model 3, the Model X, and the Model Y. And that basically spells out something a little bit racy, but it's kind of funny. So right over here, I'll call this a Model 3. Okay. So over here, so that's why we have indirect labor. What's an example of indirect labor? It would be a factory floor person who is saying supervising all of the different production parts we're going ahead and doing. But factory payroll has to go to zero. This does not have physical substance. We have to either put it as direct labor or we're going to put it as indirect labor. Where does indirect labor go? Well, we've got the materials, we've got the people that are going through and working, but what about the floor space they're working on? That is our factory. We're going to call this our factory overhead. What's going to go in here? Indirect labor, and pretty much anything with the word factory. So it could be factory equipment depreciation, factory rent, factory insurance. Now, the important thing is at the end of the period, similar to factory payroll, we have to make this account go to zero. So how are we going to do that? We're going to basically credit this over here, and this is going to go ahead and get us to take us over here to our work in process account. So as we look at this over here, and remember when we have this over here, inventory is an asset. It's increased with a debit, decreased with a credit, right? So that's where we're kind of going through over here and looking at these different parts. So now with work in process, we might have a beginning work in process, maybe what we were working on during the prior month. And then we're also going to have an ending work in process, right? So we've got a beginning plus our direct materials, direct labor, factory overhead, and then we've got our ending. Now, what goes to finished goods inventory? This is what we are going to call our cost of goods manufactured, or COGM. Now, what you'll typically see is that you will find classes that want you to go through and basically produce a statement of the cost of goods manufactured, right? That to me drives me bananas. You need to do it as in T accounts. Trust me, if you don't use T accounts, especially if you're taking my class, you're going to be done. So over here with finished goods, we're going to have our beginning finished goods inventory plus what we produced during the month, meaning what did we have in our work in process and sent out over here to production. This is over here going to go to our finished goods inventory. And this is going to be our ending finished goods inventory. And then the difference here, right after all this work over here, whatever we basically sold is coming over here, right? So we'd be debiting cost of goods sold, crediting inventory. So that on an overall basis is kind of going through over here and how we are looking at accounting for a manufacturer. So as we go through and do all these different examples, I will be constantly coming back here and referring to this. The best way to go through and to do these problems is to take out a sheet of paper, write out the T accounts, and you want to handwrite out those solutions. So thank you for being here with me today. Look forward to seeing you on the next video. Have a great